Hello chefs and welcome back to Better Plate. Today I'm going to be giving a quick rundown on how to make a sustainable, easy, and delicious meal that can be made in bulk, so it's a great meal prep item as well. Personally, I'm a sucker for anything curry, so I love this dish very much. For this recipe tutorial, I will be making curry soup. This soup contains just a few simple ingredients and can be made in just a single pot. This is great because it'll save water on your cleanup and you won't have to do so many dishes. But before we dive into making this soup, let me show you just how I attain the goods that we need to make it. So now that we're back in our kitchen, we're gonna make sure that we have everything we need ready. And the first step we're gonna do is put our chicken broth into our pot. After that, we're gonna give our broth some time to simmer and we're gonna cut up our vegetables. So we're gonna start by skinning our potatoes. The reason I start with potatoes is so they have the most time to simmer in our pot, as they'll probably take the longest to soften. It's really up to you the size that you cut these vegetables into. I prefer mine in a little bit bigger chunks, not huge, so that's really up to you when it comes to this recipe. Now that our broth is simmering, we're going to go ahead and put our potatoes in so they have time to soften. And after that, we're just going to go ahead and give this a quick stir and put our lid back on. Next, we're going to go on to our carrots. For the same reason we're doing these next, just because they will likely take more time than the other veggies that we have going into this soup. And also, once again, it is completely up to you what size you slice your carrots in. Also, I think it's important to note that this recipe can be doubled or even tripled to however much you want to make for the week. Today I'm just doing a half recipe, but this will still make plenty for several people to eat. Now that our carrots are cut up, we're going to put those into our broth with our potatoes. Now we are going to cut up our onion. So I got a pretty large onion, as you can see, so I'm just going to do half of this and save the other half for another time I'm making this or something else that involves an onion. So again, this is really up to you on size and how you want to cut it. And for onions, I like mine to be chopped up pretty small. I'm just going to get those in diced form here. Now that our onions are diced up, we're going to put those in our pot again. As you can see, this is a pretty easy recipe to follow, and it's really up to you on how you like your soup's texture and what size veggies you're looking for and stuff like that. Alright, so after we give it a stir, we are going to put that lid back on and let that simmer. Now we're going to chop up our green pepper.
Now that those green peppers are chopped up, we're gonna put them in the broth with the rest of our vegetables. Again, we're gonna just give that a quick stir so they can all be covered by the broth and have time to soften. This is going to give us the creamy texture of a curry as well as a little bit of the... So we're just going to go ahead and empty that into here. And we're going to give it a quick stir so it breaks up and mixes up. As you can see, we're already getting more of that curry color. Now we have our gram masala powder, which will, really give it that curry taste. And we're gonna do just about 1 tablespoon of that. I like to add just a little bit more, just to give it a little more flavor. And the same with our masala curry sauce, our powder. This is gonna just help balance those flavors out and give it a little bit of a spice. And again, just a little more than a tablespoon. And after we do that, we're gonna stir our pot up and you'll really start to see that curry color coming through. And if you were here, you'd be able to smell it. Alright, now that our soup has had time to simmer and soften our vegetables, we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of basil into our soup. It's preferred that the basil is fresh, but since it's a little bit out of season, it's a little bit harder to find. So I'm just using some bagged dried seed basil here. After that, we're just gonna give it a stir. And our dish is ready to serve. As you can see, this did make a lot, enough for at least a week's worth of soup. So like I said, it is a great meal prep option.
Until next time, chefs.